Hey, Warsaw, how are you? Hello, hello, everybody. How are you doing? My name is Andrea of Geeky Girls Journal, and some of you know me, some of you do not. I may be a familiar face, I may not be, but I was just talking to some of my friends on Instagram, and I wanted to share this on every platform that I am currently on. I know that it's going to be a little impossible with some of the ones, but we're just going to do our best today. Bear with me. I thought that what I had to say was very important, and I wanted to share it. It's going to be very practical. A lot of you are probably going to be like, "Oh yeah, that's so relatable. I get it. I completely understand." And I hope that's the direction we're going today. So I'm going to go ahead and get started. I just want to plug everybody in. Make sure you can hear me. Hey, Bud Files. Hey, Jamia. Hey, the real melanated Chi Chi. Hi, good to see you all. Thank you so much for coming in. Please share this out because this is going to help somebody today. I know it is, and I'm just going to go ahead and get started. Warren Sean, thank you for coming in on Instagram and Crystal as well. So this is what I have to say today, you guys. I'm getting right into it. The title is God Wants Your Attention. You need to pause. So yesterday I was in a live and I heard somebody say pause. I believe it was someone from YouTube, one of my YouTube friends. And when she said pause, it just made me think about something. They weren't really talking about this, but it kind of cemented earlier today as I was driving my children to school. I was doing drop off, and that usually takes me about 2 hours to get everybody to school, and then I'm able to come home and run some errands and do things like that. Anyway, I was running as usual, and I was going through green lights, and I was like, "Whoa! Today I have all these green lights." And I went through about, I'm gonna say about seven green lights, okay? And in this time frame, I really wasn't thinking much of it. I was just going through like, hey, Marshawn, thank you for joining me here too. So I was going through the lights, and like I said, I wasn't thinking anything about it. I was just going about my day, and I was thinking, "Ooh, God is blessing me to get through these lights today," because I'm one that's not always, but most of the time, I'm thinking about my next step. I'm thinking about what's next on my list, what I have to have done, what needs to be done later on through the day. So it's just kind of like I'm never really, I don't consider myself an in the moment person all the time, although I am trying to be more like that. I'm more of a go, go, go type of girl. And, I face challenges as they come. Hey, Jamie, hopefully I said hi to everybody and hi to everybody on Instagram. I'm not trying to ignore anybody. Hey, everybody on Facebook. Hello, hello. Please share this out with a friend, whomever. Somebody's going to need this. Trust me. So anyway, I'm one of those people. So I run. And then at the end of the day, I kind of just, you know, I'm tired, decompress or whatever I have to do. So as I'm going through these green lights, so like I did digress. So I'm going to go back. Hopefully I didn't lose anybody. So as I was going through the green lights, like I said, I didn't think anything of it. Can you all let me know if you hear my daughter's tablet in the background? She turned it down for me, but I just want to make sure you're able to hear me and that it's not a lot of noise in the back. So if you can give me a thumbs up, if you can hear well enough, if you can hear her sound in the back, let me know. Jamie, I'm leaning on you and Bud Files and whomever else is listening. So anyway, I was just going. And like I said, I went through about seven green lights. And then all of a sudden, I came to a halt. Why? Because there was a red light in my path. So I stopped at the red light. And then as I'm sitting there, I'm thinking, wow. At first, I was just like, man, it's a red light. I need to keep moving. I thought I had something going where I was going to have a whole streak of green and a whole streak of green. And then all of a sudden, here comes this red light. And then I started to think about it. Isn't that how it is sometimes in our life? We go, go, go. It's okay. Thank you, Jamie. Thank you so much for telling me that. I'm glad. So it won't be too bad. Can you hear me? Okay. All right. Yeah. So you're going and you're going and you're going. And then all of a sudden, you had this red light. Boom. Stop. And it feels like everything just kind of comes to a halt. Bless you. And it feels like things come to a halt. I'm talking about things in your life, but I'm just giving you an analogy because I like to look at things in parallels, and I see things practically, and I also see things in pictures. And God was giving me a picture of what He was trying to relay to me today. So I just thought, hey, I want to share with everybody else because would probably help somebody else out. So yeah, so it was a red light. I stopped, and then I'm sitting here, and at first I wasn't thinking anything of it. Then all of a sudden it just dawned on me, hey, Frugal Mama, how you doing? And then I started to think, and I was like, you know what? This is my life. This is how it goes. Green light, green light, green light, green light, one after the other. And then, sorry, my daughter's texting me. I'm sorry, you guys. Let me tell her I'm recording. I'm recording now. Okay, so then, oh, so then I got the green light. Sorry about that, you all. Mom, it never stops. That's it. What can I say? I'm a mommy. It never stops. That's my first priority. Um, but also, so I know people on IG. You could probably see my text. I'm not sure, but like I said, I'm a mom, so it never stops. So anyway, I was going and going and going, and then I stopped at this red light, and I was just like, you know, uh, this is life. This is life. This is how it works. You're going, you're going, you're going, and then all of a sudden there's a halt, or there can be a halt in your life. There can be a pause. There can be something that just stops you in your tracks. And for me, that stop was a notice to turn it down one, baby. That was a notice for me to stop and just to recenter. That's why I made this title. God wants your attention. You need to pause. And when I think of pause, I think of recentering for me in this situation. Pause also, if you think about it, if you have a remote control and you press pause, you're watching a show and then you pause it because you have to stop and go do something else. And I hope you all are following me. You have to stop and go do something else. Maybe you have to stop and tend to your children. Maybe you have to stop and do whatever, go to the restroom. I mean, who knows? Whatever it is you have to do. Maybe you just have to stop because you want to stop and think about what just happened in the story. So you stop and you pause it, and then but when you pause it, that's not really you completely coming to a stop, a standstill. You stop it for that moment, but then don't you have to pick things up, and don't you have to start pick up where you left off, and then that pause kind of gives you a little time to refocus, recenter, think about what your next step is. So that's exactly what I thought about when I was going through all these green lights, and then I came to that halt with my red light. And I was thinking, you know what? I need to recenter. I need to refocus. And for me, what that looks like is pausing, stopping, reflecting, thinking. It may take a moment of silence for me sometimes. I may have to just be in a silent place. I might have to just gather my thoughts, but I need to recenter. And why am I having this conversation with you? Because to recenter is important because you have to be plugged into your source. Think about a battery. If you have a battery, doesn't it require being charged every so often? Or a watch or a cell phone. Let's use your cell phone. That's more common. Doesn't your cell phone require being charged? And you have to plug it into that source. That source being the charger, a battery. You have to charge it in to power back up and to kind of restart, right? So that is how I saw the stop sign, this or the stoplight. This was my chance, my opportunity to stop, to focus, and just to reconfigure some things. Thank you, Melanated. Okay, because I feel like am I making sense right now? Am I just talking in circles? Because hopefully what I want to do is just make sure that everybody else understands. Okay, thank you, Jamie. Because sometimes I'm I am processing it. I'm still in a stage where I'm processing this. Turn it down one more, please. Where I'm in a stage of processing and trying to figure things out. And so you all are actually just a part of me going through the motions. You're here sharing this moment with me while I'm trying to process and think about my next steps. And as I do that, oh, thank you, Melanated. I'm so glad that somebody's getting something out of this because I feel like sometimes I feel like I'm talking in circles, but I can understand it. It doesn't necessarily mean that when I'm speaking to others, the message is being relayed clearly. So I just want to make sure that it's being relayed clearly, and I am explaining it as thoroughly as possible because I understand that words are powerful. I understand that um, being able to articulate yourself so that somebody else can understand it is very important. So that's important to me to make sure that I get my message across. So I don't know how do you all feel about that? Do you ever feel like you're in situations where you're going, and then all of a sudden, boom, you just get that halt, that pause, that red light. And what do you do? What do you do? Well, I've learned before I used to just keep going, go. And if I'm being completely honest, sometimes I still do. And it was today that reminded me that it is okay to stop sometimes. It's okay to pause. It's okay to halt. Hey, Miss Betty. Yeah, I know. It was very impromptu today. I did schedule it after I thought about it, but I scheduled it while I was doing things to try to get ready. So I'll say, you know what, I'm just gonna schedule it and just go for it. And whoever shows up, shows up. Whoever does not, does not. Whoever needs to hear will be here. That's my thought for now. I'm not trying to impress the algorithm anymore. I'm showing up however I can show up and whenever I can show up. So yeah, so I was thinking about that and I was thinking, that's so me. Just green light, green light, go. And then to some point, and then uh sometimes you get to that point where after you just go, you get that red light. And sometimes I gotta be honest with you all. Sometimes I get annoyed when I get that red light. I'm like, what? It's a red light. I had all these green lights. I had all these green lights, and now here comes this red light. But when I thought about it, when I took another opportunity to think about it, I needed that red light. I needed that red light to slow me down. I needed that red light to make me stop and to think and to refocus, to recenter. And I know a lot of people do journaling. um the real melanated, I stopped myself. Can I put that up? Thank you very much. The real melanated Chi Chi TV says, I stop myself and tell myself to slow down. It's time to pace yourself before you burn out. Very important. Very important. In fact, I was looking at this definition of recenter today, and I want to share it with you guys. Well, I won't, because I don't want to lose anybody on here. I just think my internet is kind of doing whatever it's doing today. So I was looking at the word refocus, recenter rather, and that's what it just meant, to refocus, to kind of clear your mind, to get your thoughts back in alignment, to focus, even if it's just a focus for that moment. For me, I said, I just need this time. I need this red light. Thank you, Miss Betty, so much. I need this red light just to slow me down, if only for a second, just to say, Andrea, stop. It's okay. You don't have to keep going. You can pause. You can take a break. You can, and you must. I must. I needed to be able to take that break. I needed to pause. And I'm not talking about just a light, you guys. I'm talking about life, because even um as I was driving back home, I even thought about it, and I said, what about if you get, sometimes when you're at a red light and you hear a police siren in the background, ambulance, something of that nature, and you're like, oh, and you're looking around trying to figure out where it's coming from, because you have to stay there and wait for them to cross, right? You have to stay there. So that's all a part of your waiting season, that ambulance, that police car. And I know, hopefully you're following the analogy, because it makes sense in my head. Yeah, and the police car comes and you're sitting there at that green light or red light. It could be either one at this point. I just shut out all the noise and center my focus on God. Yes, Jamie, that's whew. Can I get a yes? Yes. Hey, Robert. We miss Robert. Hey, we miss Robert. We miss Robert. We miss Robert. All right, I'm sorry. I'm definitely digressing, but for those of you who are on Instagram, you don't know who We Miss Robert is, but he's a friend on YouTube. So, um, the Educated Natural. Hey, 10, how you doing, 10? 10, you said something about pausing last night, and this was playing in my head all day yesterday, and then today, as I was telling the story. You might have to rewind, but I'll probably say it again, because you all know how to repeat myself 500 times. So, hey, geeky girls and all, I'm in class, so I'm in the bushes. Oh, okay, thank you, 10, for being in class and in the bushes. I appreciate it. Thank you so much, everybody. Thank you for sticking with me throughout this, because, like I said, I'm processing this as I'm speaking to you. I'm trying to talk, Robert. I am definitely um, trying to figure out how I can better articulate this. So hopefully you all are still with me. 10, Jamie said hi. So stay in the bushes, and I just appreciate you all listening. People on Facebook, I appreciate you listening. People on IG, I appreciate you listening, and those people who will listen back to this. So don't get upset as I did. Don't look at that red light as a stumbling block, because that's not what it is. That's not what it is. That red light is there to remind you, that it's all right to stop. It's okay to pause. It's all right to take a deep breath. It's all right to have several seats. Sometimes you just have to sit yourself down, don't you? I have to. 7. We're talking about 7 seats. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. I had to take 7 seats. And sometimes it's more. Sometimes I just have to say, Andrea, you know what? You're doing too much. You need to slow it down. You need to calm down, refocus, recenter. And I can feel it when it's happening a lot of times. I can feel myself just veering off track. Hey, Tamika, how you doing? I can feel myself going in that direction, and I can feel that I need to slow down. I need to calm down. I need to relax. And like I said before, the before Andrea, I would just keep going, keep going. Now, not all the time. I'm not 100%. I'm about 65%, trying to get to 70, trying to get to 100. But I have to remind myself oftentimes, to slow down. That's all right. And a lot of times my kids help me to remember that it's okay to slow down, because they pull my coat, they're like, Mom, Mom, Mom. And I'm like, can you wait for a second? Can you wait? I have to get this done. I got to do that. Then I think about it. Okay, this requires my attention at that moment. I need to stop. I need to be in the moment. I need to take my time and see what is happening. I need to be more patient. I need to be more self-aware. That's a good word. I need to, be a little bit more self-loving. And I think I love myself really well. But as it pertains to self-care, sometimes I'm a little bit off. Like that's why I put that target on the thumbnail, because I'm a tad bit off. Sometimes I'm just a tad bit off, or a whole lot off, depending on the day, depending on the time, depending on who I'm with. There's a lot of variables, and I just wanted to share that with you all. You are in the busy season of your life. It's so hard. All the inside and outside forces, you have a while for the fall season since you have a little one, but you are in the season of the why. Absolutely, Miss Betty. I think you were talking about this on one of your last slides. I was there. I was in the bushes. I was listening though, because while I'm in my busy season, in my summer, because it's a girl's summer. It's not summer right now. Is it still summer? I don't think so. So while I'm in my busy season, because as most of you know, I have a range of ages. I have 4-year old all the way up to a 19-year-old. So I have a child that's in every stage, and I am definitely in that season where I have to be more attentive at times. I have to give more of my attention to my children. I have to give more attention to my spouse. My attention just depends, and it varies, and sometimes it all happens at the same time. Those are all my green lights that I'm talking about. Trying to be a business owner, that is something in itself. I hope I didn't miss anybody on Instagram. Hi, if you're coming in and I missed you. Trying to just maintain a household, trying to just do all the things. And I know there are a lot of moms here, women, so you get it, and men. I saw Robert here, so he gets it. And then if the green light was not enough, so my daughter and I, once we got home, um, she was having a little difficulty getting on her tablet, because I also teach my 4-year-old at home, because she doesn't attend school at the moment. Of course, she's 4, so I teach her at home as well. And she was having difficulty getting on her tablet, so I'm like, okay, I'm starting a live in 1 minute. What do you need? What do you need? I'm coming. Hey, David, how you doing, David? So I was helping her, and I was like, what do you need from me? And all of a sudden, she just like pouring down crying. I was like, well, what's happening? Well, what happened was she was on her tablet and she was trying to make something work, and then the system crashed, and she was frustrated. And while I was going to go help her, it also further helped me to understand that that's life. And that's what I told her. I was like, I know you're 4, but things are going to happen sometimes that are not desirable, and you want them to happen in a different way. And as I was talking to her, I was thinking about myself, like, I'm a whole 40 some years old, and I I was literally talking to myself while I was telling my my 4-year-old this, and I was saying, listen, calm down. Sometimes you have to pause. It's okay that this happened. You cannot control everything. And I know that's what it is a lot of times. It's us wanting to control the situation. It's me wanting to control the situation. I can't speak for everybody else. I'm just going to speak for Andrea, Geeky Girl. It's me wanting to control the situation, but I had to realize I am not in control. I'm not in control. So why not just hand it over to the one who created me? That's my source. Why am I trying to figure everything out all the time? Because I can't. And I am a person who thinks about things, who likes to analyze things, and I wonder a lot of times, why this, why that. I question things, and so that's just a part of my makeup. So for me to say I have to sit and be still is difficult at times. Let me get to this chat so I can see what Miss Betty is saying, and everybody over here, David and Jamie and the real lady. She Instagram, thank you for joining me. I don't see anybody there, but you'll join later. I'm not worried about it. Facebook, thank you. So what Miss Betty says is the why season is a season when the kids are growing up. Then we start really looking at ourselves. Time for changes in your life. The pause is to slow down, to refocus and regroup, and to learn. Yes. Well said, Miss Betty. That is my pause. And I got it today. I got a pause. I got the opportunity to pause when I was at the light and to think about it. And it was so weird that I was actually going through the motion. And this is how God works with me sometimes. I'm literally going through the motions, and then He drops something in my spirit, and I'm like, oh. And that's what it takes for me, you guys. Like, I don't know if somebody told me, yeah, I would listen, but would I get it as clearly? No, I actually had a practical example. This is what you're doing right now, Andrea. You're going through all these green lights, green, 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 green. And I was gun I was like, yes, I'm gonna get home 3 minutes faster than I normally would. A whole 3 minutes. And then when I hit that red light, I was like, oh man, I'm always hitting the red light. And then it was just like, it just hit me right there. It was like, okay, but you just had several green lights and you were going, going, going. You didn't complain about that. As soon as you hit the red light, now you had something to say. And then I feel like that's how it is sometimes in our storms. When life is life, and we are going through all these green lights, boom, 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 right? And then all of a sudden, you hit a red, and then your whole world is crumbling. Oh, I don't know what to do. Oh, I can't get to my house in 2 minutes because I have what to do? Nothing. Laundry. That's what I had to come home to, laundry and cleaning. So why was I in such a rush to get back to that when I can do that anytime? Because in my mind, I have this schedule planned out perfectly. This is what I do daily. Boom, boom, boom. I need to hit these marks every time. And if I can hit them on time, that's even better. That's even better. If I can hit the marks and if I can hit them on time and do what I'm supposed to do at the right time, to me, that is a win win. But then I had to look at it. If I can't control everything, hey, celebrating you. Thank you for joining on Instagram. Thank you for joining. I'm so happy to see you. So if I cannot hit all my marks perfectly every time I want to, then I need to sit back and reevaluate myself and think about it. I'm not God. I can't, no matter how much I want to change things like that, no matter how much I try to um, make my schedule my reality every day, there is going to be something that happens in life that, oh, hey, Miss Betty on Instagram too. You are everywhere. Yeah, there's going to be something in my life that shifts at some point in time that is going to cause me to hit a red light. And I'm saying red light as an analogy, okay? It can be a storm. It can be something financial for you. It can be something that's, um, it can be the loss of a loved one. It can be you fill in the blank. I mean, I can give you examples all day, but you fill in the blank. So Miss Betty says, learning is gaining wisdom, and that is when real life starts. More listening and more quiet time. God got us. And sometimes we pray for help and still try to keep up the struggle. Then why pray? Absolutely. That's a word for me. That is a word for me, definitely, because why pray if I'm not believing what he can do for me or what he's going to do for me? Why pray if I don't believe it? And I got to be honest with you all. I have expectations. I have expectations of God. Do I get upset if he does not do it? No. I might be, depending on the situation, I might wonder and I might be like, God, I just want to see what's going to happen because I know if I know that God's got me, like Miss Betty said, if I know that God has my best interest at heart, why am I upset if it didn't work out exactly the way that I planned it? If I know that God has better for me, if I know that He holds the world in the palm of His hands and that what He sees is the bigger picture, I see just this little piece. I see what's in front of me. I see what I'm envisioning. I see what I'm imagining. And you know what? I wonder sometimes, like, if God is like, "Hey, what is it? What's happening with you? Like, come on, get it together, pull it together, come on, pull it together." And probably so, but also I know that He knows me. He knows my heart. He knows what my intentions are. He knows how to capture me and how to get my attention in that moment. And like I said today, this is probably something that's like to somebody else, like, what is she talking about with this green light stuff? But with the green light for me, it takes when I often tell people I need a brick, I like to have brick moments. Those are my brick moments when he just drops them when I least expect it. Or I see something through somebody else that I'm close to. He'll give me something through somebody else, like, hey, Andrea, you didn't hear me say it the first time. You didn't hear me say it the second time. But I'm going to drop this brick right now because you're stopped at this red light and you're not going. You have to slow down at this red light. In fact, you have to stop at this red light so that I can get your attention and so that I can say what needs to be said. And I did. I had to stop at that red light. Sometimes my red light is me when I'm brushing my teeth, when I finally had the door closed in the bathroom and nobody is bothering me, nobody is coming in there knocking on the door asking me to do this, do that, but I'm actually able to brush my teeth in peace. And then here we go. Then I get something, and I'm like, oh, I get it. And like Miss Betty said, that's that quiet time. My quiet time happens to be when I'm doing personal hygiene or when I have to go to the bathroom. Um, and sometimes it's when I'm picking people up, not picking people up. It's when I've dropped somebody off and when I have that time to myself in my vehicle and I can just, whew, or when I'm sitting waiting for my children at practice, when I'm at my daughter's volleyball practice and I'm sitting there just, I'm able to just take a moment. It's for an hour. So that's an hour by myself. I enjoy going to drop her off for volleyball. Why? Because I'm there by myself. She's playing volleyball. I don't have to worry about anybody else. It's my time. Yes, it's loud on the court. Yes, balls are flying over my head and I have to dodge them. And sometimes I have to throw them back. But I'm able to sit there and just listen, to reflect on my day, to think about it. So I invite you to do the same. Like whenever you had that moment, hey, Ram, whenever you had that moment, just stop. I want to tell you, just stop, think, reflect, take a pause, listen, and wait. Just wait. Be still. That is hard to do. I understand. It's hard, very hard to do. It's hard for me to sit still. And I look at my 4-year-old, I look at my girls as they've gotten older, and I'm like, I remember when they were 2 years old, and it was hard for them to sit still. They just moving all over 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. You take any age up to probably teenager, that's when they finally start to just kind of, calm down a little bit. But then that's a whole nother thing. But you got to deal with a whole nother set of issues. But I'm talking about physically, like they're moving. They're just like little darts. Boom, boom, here, there. Fireworks. See? Everywhere. And they're just moving around. And then I'm like, man, I wish I had that energy, but that is us in life sometimes. We're moving, we're shaking. Gotta get this done, gotta get that done. I forgot to take care of this. I forgot to call this person. I forgot to call that person. Oh my goodness, I forgot to schedule their appointment. You're moving, moving, moving. And sometimes you just gotta quiet yourself down. The real melanated Chi Chi says, you wanted to hurry and get it all over with. Understandable. Yes, I do. I do. And I probably read your comment really late. Sorry about that. I'm bad at doing comments. Everybody here knows that. Good stuff. Okay, thank you, Robert. Um, oh, Brand is Brand is talking about you, silly rabbit. Geeky Girls Journal, nice message. Thank you, Brand, the real OG. Let me catch up. Hey, the real. I hope I didn't miss anybody. I think everybody's speaking. Oh, Miss Betty. Miss Betty, thank you for sharing your wisdom on here today. You have a lot to say. I like listening to those of us that are more seasoned. I do like it because I do gain knowledge. So thank you very much for chiming in, Miss Betty and Robert over there and everybody else who's saying something. Miss Betty says, what is so hard for me is when someone that they do not believe in. Oh, that's my alarm to go get a child, but I'm not going to be able to do that right now. She doesn't get out until 12:30, but she did say she's getting out earlier. But I have to do this. I want to complete my thought with you all, and then I'll let you go because I don't even know how long I've been here. 31 minutes? Okay. What is so hard for me is when someone that they do not believe in a higher power is like a paper cut, a deep pain. I want to ask them, then what do you do when something happens in your life? That's a very good question. What do you do when something happens in your life if you don't believe in a higher power? I mean, me, it's easier for me to sit here and say, and to agree with Miss Betty because I believe in a higher power. I believe in God. I believe that I didn't just show up here. I didn't just poof. Okay, there's Andrea, a Powerpuff Girl. No, I didn't just show up. There was a process, my parents, hey, they were connected and they made something gorgeous. They made this person that you see before you. Why? How did they do that? Had to be through something beyond us. It had to be someone. I mean, even if you don't believe in God, and I'm not here to try to persuade anybody. If you don't believe in God, um, that's not my job. I won't persuade you. I talk about it, but that's his job to convict you, not mine. But if you don't, I just have a question. What do you think? How do you think the earth was formed? How do you think we have a galaxy? How do you think we have bugs? Who do you think created that? That's just my question. I mean, you can think about that and tell me later in a comment. Doesn't matter to me. Or DM me on Instagram. DM me on Instagram. Go pick up the. I am Miss Betty. So give me 5 more minutes, you. I texted her and told her I was recording, so she knows what that means. Um, Miss Betty says, also, I pray for wisdom on a non believer. Yes, I just am so inquisitive about that. Why and how? Same here, Miss Betty. I'm very inquisitive. I want to know why. I wonder why, although I'm not one to push anybody into anything. Yes, breathe easy. Whew, breathe. Thank you for the reminder, Chi Chi. Thank you for the reminder. Yeah, we got to remember to breathe easy. We got to remember to take a pause. We have to remember to reflect. And as April came in, where is she? Hey, April. Miss Betty trying to tell me on all sites, go pick that baby up. She is all right, Miss Betty. She is about to be an adult soon. So I told her sometimes, mama's got to work. Mama's got to get this message out. But I am going to let you all go. And let's just say 10 minutes. Let's say 10 minutes. Is that fair? 10 minutes? Okay, 10 minutes. And then we're done here. I'm going to go pick her up in 10 minutes, Miss Betty. Be my timer, please. Great minds think alike. Thank you very much, Chi Chi. April is speaking to everybody. Hey, April. Hey, April in Africa. April in Africa, who is now POA. Did you realize you're POA? Okay, so we have a PIA, a POA. All right. So Robert said, come on now. All right, Robert, whatever it was that I said, thank you very much for the encouragement. Hey, Boo. Okay, who else? Oh, Bayou Troy is in the building. I didn't even see him. Hey, Troy, hopefully I didn't miss you out. Thank you for coming in. And let's see what Troy has to say. Troy says a non believer is just someone who hasn't learned yet. Sometimes it isn't their fault. They just need someone to teach them. Very true. Tamika Davis, I see you. I see you over there, Tamika. Thank you for coming in and holding it down. You are right, Troy. Sometimes I know okay, you all know I'm a church girl. I grew up in church. I've been there my whole life and I'm still there and I plan to be there. Not just because of the building aspect, because we know church is not the building. Church is where? It's here. We're talking about God. So you can be the church and be anywhere outside the building. Don't let somebody tell you that you have to go to church. Yes, you go to church to assemble with other believers so that you can be encouraged, so that you can affirm each other, so that you can be encouraged. Did I say that? Because that's very important. So that you can be encouraged. Okay, I am Miss Betty. I am. So that is why we attend church. Also, you have a pastor there who is able to pour into you in a way that you may not explain things when you read the Bible. A lot of us may not understand it. So you have teachers, you have preachers, you have people that preach who deliver the word of God so that, yes, we are the church. Absolutely. You have people that have been called by God. And hopefully they're doing it because they're called, not because they're just trying to showboat and they're trying to get recognition, but hopefully they're doing it because it's a call on their life and God is pouring into them and he uses them to relay the message to others. So I don't know why I said all that, but I did. So there we are. So I think it was Troy that started. So thank you, Troy, for that. So yeah, we were just talking about this. Yes. Oh, hi, my roadside pride. I've seen you before. Thank you for coming back in. I'm glad that you can relate to this message. Share it with somebody, and come back. Join me again. So yeah, hey Nikki, I didn't see you. Hey Nikki, and I'm new to your channel. Well, welcome K Renee, welcome, new to your channel. Well, K Renee, make sure you subscribe. Make sure you subscribe. I'm here when I can be here. I'm just gonna be honest with you. I am working on trying to be more consistent, especially on YouTube. I was very consistent on Twitter, but now Twitter's taking a different direction. So I'm trying to figure that out. Facebook, I have a pretty good following there. If you all want to catch me on Facebook, if you're on Facebook, go there and become my friend there too. Geeky Girls Journal. Under Cross is my other one. So join me there. Those of you who are on YouTube, connect. And my roadside pride, who is on IG right now, just said we were just talking about this. Yes. So yeah, if you all didn't hear anything else, because I know with me, you have to kind of ride the roller coaster. I say things as I'm thinking about them. Hopefully, you are able to understand and keep up, because I know I can be a bit much, but hey, talk to God about that. He created me. What do I say? That's who He wanted me to be, and that's who I am. So, again, welcome, Kay, Tamika. I did say hi. Um, okay, everyday life. Yeah, so I know I have to go. I'm going to wrap this up, Miss Betty, because she's giving me a countdown. I think I have 4 more minutes. I just wanted to say, you guys, in closing, if you did not see this, rewind this. We talked about the pause. We talked about pausing, right? We talked about pausing here. We also want to talk about rewinding. If you didn't see this whole message, go back and rewind it. Rewind it, replay parts that you need to see in order to get this in your spirit. I'm telling you. So we were talking about the stoplight. I was going through green lights, and that's life. We say all the time, life is life, and don't we? Thank you. Hey, Four Corners, how are you? We talk about life is life, and I hear Jamie say that. I hear Miss Betty say. I hear everybody say life is life, and April, everybody. So we're talking about the way that life is lifing, and I was just comparing it to the green lights that I was going through this morning, and the green lights that I go through daily. I talk about how you move, and sometimes you don't give yourself the opportunity to stop and be in the moment and take a deep breath. Well, I am here to tell you, if you needed a sign today, I'm the one, the girl with the frizzy hair, the geeky girl. I'm here to tell you, it is okay to pause. It's okay to stop. It's okay to gather your thoughts. And I realized this. I wish I would have known this when I was younger, because I've always been one that talks a little fast. And sometimes people are like, wait, you're talking too fast. I don't understand what you're saying. I'm like, well, keep up. And a lot of times and it still happens, my thoughts move faster than the words that are coming out of my mouth, if that makes sense. So sometimes it's moving in my brain, and I'm trying to process everything, and I'm trying to process it in a way that I can say it and that it'll make sense. And sometimes it happens all at once, and it's moving fast, and my mouth is just trying to keep up with what my brain is saying. Does that make sense to anybody? So if you don't understand something that I'm saying, just ask me to repeat it. I will tell you again. I don't have a problem with that. I like to learn. I like to learn from others. So I do not have a problem with restating what I've already said. So um unless I'm in a time crunch. Now that's a whole nother thing, and I am, because I have 2 minutes. So again, look back at it. If you're in a green light stage of your life, Miss Betty, I think referred to it as summer, or it's a season in your life where you are just going and going and going, and you feel like you don't have that time to stop. You just feel like you're in a rush, and you're always moving, you're always doing, you're always there for others. And I can relate to this completely. Always there for others, always doing something else for somebody else. And you're trying to find that time just to get that little piece of space for yourself. You're just trying to find it. I'm here to tell you, you need it. Find it. Push that pause button. Push it. Where's my remote? I have remote controllers all over my house. Tell them to pause. Say pause. Pause. You heard my baby. She said pause. Be in the moment. Take the time for yourself that you need to reflect, to listen, to recenter. That's what this video is all about, you guys. To be selfless. There we are. There we are. Be selfless. Think about yourself for once. Take a pause for the cause, right? Take a pause. Do not feel bad about pausing. Don't feel bad about stopping. I did. Sometimes I still do. When I have to take a pause, I'm like, everything's moving at a whirlwind speed, and I feel like I'm in a tornado, and I'm like, it's going too fast, and I can feel it happening, but I'm like, I don't know how to stop. I just got to keep going. And then all of a sudden, I'm like, okay, stop. I just tell myself, stop, decompress. It's all right. You can It's okay to pause. That's right, my roadside pride. She's saying over there, or he, whomever you are, I'm sorry. He, she, your person, doesn't matter. Um, yes, laugh out loud. My mind moves faster than my lips. My mind moves faster than my lips. It's okay to pause. And I had to learn. This is what I was saying. I wish I would have known this when I was younger, because my mind moves like this. It's a rapid, it feels like a wheel a lot of times. It's just going, going, going. And the words are trying to keep up. So if you can relate to what I'm saying, you understand the feeling. You understand. I see April says she understands. You understand what I mean when you're thinking. You have all these thoughts, and then you're just trying to spit them out in a way that makes sense. And I can remember when I was younger. I'm gonna give you all this an example, then I'm leaving. I promise, Miss Betty, I'm out of here. Okay, so I was in class, and I've always been a very good student. Because I told you I like to learn. I still like to learn to this day. And I was saying something, and my mind was moving at 100 times speed, right? So I raised my hand to answer the question. I was like, "Oh, I got the question. I know what it is. I know. Oh, I got it." And I was saying it, and then I said it. And she was like, "Oh, very good. That was insightful. Very good answer." So I was talking to a classmate, and I found out later this was somebody who didn't like me. So maybe this is why they said it. And whatever. So I made the statement, and then they were like, "That's just dumb. Why would you say something like that?" And I was just like, "What? Like you calling me dumb?" And we're not going to even talk about your grades and how you answer things in this class, but that's a whole nother thing. I won't go to that. But I'm just trying to give you all an example that's relatable. And what I've come to realize as an adult is, it wasn't that I was dumb, because, like I said, I got good grades. I can comprehend information. I understand fully when people are talking to me. It was that in that moment, my thoughts were moving so fast. And maybe when I explained it to her, the person that I'm referring to, and articulated to her, she didn't understand it. Maybe you were the one that didn't get it. I understand completely what I was talking about. Okay, my 10 minutes is over. Okay, Miss Betty. All right, give me one more minute, Miss Betty. You're the one that didn't get it, because perhaps maybe you need to take a pause and to think about what I was saying. I also take blame for that, because I realized now that I needed to be able to just stop moving so fast. And that's why I wanted to share this with you all. It's okay to stop. It's okay to pause, because sometimes you're thinking so fast that when you say something, it might come out jumbled. In your mind it came out the right way, but then you're like, oh wait, maybe I should have said it differently. And it's okay to stop. It's okay to stop and say it again, so somebody understands it. And that's what I did. I was like, I said it again, and everybody's like, oh yeah, that makes sense. But she didn't get it, so it doesn't matter. That's all right. So that's also why I like to reiterate things, just to make sure that it's clear. So yeah, just take the time to pause. I'm talking about your thoughts right now. I'm talking about life. I'm talking about you filling in the blank, because you know what it is that you need to pause. Maybe you need to have more self-care. Maybe you need to have, self-care time alone. It's all right to sit by yourself sometimes. It's okay to sit on a couch and just look, just think. What's wrong with that? It's okay to, if you need a moment, go outside, take a walk. It's okay to go out and take a drive. Don't do it while you're upset. I wouldn't suggest that, because you might make some rash moves. You might do something that can cause, you know, trouble. We'll just put it that way. So give yourself time to think. Give yourself time to pause. Give yourself time to reflect. And it's 45 minutes. I gotta stop. Give yourself time to think. And I promise you, it is okay. It's all right. Um, Thank you all for listening. I appreciate it. I thank you for coming in. Kay, thank you for connecting and joining us today. And David, everybody, David, Nikki, if I call everybody's name, I'll be here even longer than I'm supposed to be. So just know, everybody that's here, I appreciate your support on IG. Thank you for listening, my Roadside Pride. Thank you for being here, April. Thank you for sharing Four Corners. I just appreciate all of you, and I don't believe that I say that enough. I do appreciate you coming in and listening to my rants and watching the videos. I appreciate you sharing them out, because I can't do it all by myself. How else will this message get out? How else can, people who are deserving to hear what I have to say, how else will they hear what I have to say? It's you all. It's all about you. It's all about you, boo. It's not about me. It never has been. It's about me saying what I need to say, what I've been given to say, and to share the message. And I just appreciate you all from the bottom of my heart. I'm not gonna cry. Don't worry about that. 10. I know you talked about that yesterday, but I'm not gonna cry. And Chi Chi is saying, have a lovely day, everybody. Nikki is saying, you are so welcome, Geeky Girls Journal. Thank you very much. April, thank you very much. I appreciate it. Great message, Geeky Girls Journal. Aww. I'm blushing. Can you all tell? No, you probably can't see it. I'm too brown for that. So yeah. Anyway, you made my day. Everybody made my day on Instagram. You made my day on YouTube. Thank you so much for coming in again. I will see you all again. Oh, I better say this before I go. If you have young girls that if you have young girls or no young girls, younger girls, I'm talking about tween age, younger than that, make sure they connect to Geeky Girls Journal. Tell them about the books because I do believe, I know that they will help somebody out. If you know girls that are needing some self-confidence and looking for answers, looking for things, send them my direction. I'm for women and girls, guys. I like you all too. We're cool over here. We cool. We are very cool. But yeah, just share me out. And whoever needs to hear, whoever needs to see Geeky Girls Journal will see it. I'm not concerned about that. That's not my job. My job is to show up. My job is to speak when the Lord tells me to speak. And that's it. That's all I'm doing. I'm not worried about it anymore. Okay. Salute says, uh, Four Corners is saluting to David. Oh, isn't that so nice? Look at that man. Look at those men bonding in here. I love it. And look at these women in here showing up and showing out. So thank you all again. Make sure you share this. That's what I was gonna say. See, I got sidetracked again. My brain is moving so fast. I did post a video or a thumbnail. You know how you do it in advance for next Sunday, the Sunday coming up. I put the title up, so please be so kind to go over there and smash that notification button so you can get a notification because I'm gonna have a special guest back again. Hopefully, I'll have two. We'll see how it works out. My plan is to have the two, but sometimes life likes and they're not able to show up, and that's okay because I'll show up by myself. But it just makes the conversation more interesting when I have all of you all there and the two guests. So thanks again, everybody, for being here with me. I want you to have a good rest of your day. Have a good rest of the week because today is Tuesday, I believe. So have a good day. I love you all. Share this out. Hit the like button. Do all those things that YouTube requires and that Facebook requires and Instagram. And I will see you all later. Have a good one, everybody. Thank you so much for coming in. And I'm going to share this source. You're going to see it because I didn't have it queued up. That's all my fault. It's going to show me for a while. And then I did this. It's cool. You all watch. YouTube, you're going to see this. Instagrammers, you're not going to see it. But YouTube, you're going to see it. So, all right. See you all later.